Peace, my friends. What is happening? It is Ben, and I'm here with another yoga practice. So today I have a couple props, which are kind of optional. I have a yoga block that's super optional, and then I do have a yoga strap, which we will start with. And if you don't have a yoga strap, it's a really simple device. You could also use a really long broomstick. You could use a belt that's pretty long. You could even use a towel or like a thin blanket, and you can even stretch it out, or even like a really big t-shirt, anything that you can kind of pull apart and grab opposite ends of. And so we'll grab that item. Feel free to pause the video and grab it if you need to. And we'll open up the practice just by flossing out the shoulders, creating some natural space. Try to keep the arms straight as you do this, but of course bending the elbows a little bit, totally fine. Create a little space, move the energy around. If you want to start moving a little bit more globally or spherically, meaning in multiple different directions, feel free to loop it around. What feels good, what feels natural. Let's just keep this going for another maybe 20 seconds. Freeing up the shoulders, especially if you've been pretty stagnant throughout the day, and especially if you've been, maybe you just woke up and it's the morning time, or you've been working at a desk, or even if you go for a walk. A lot of the things that we do don't allow the shoulders to move through the range of motion, which is why this can be a little gift to our bodies. All right, now that we've done that a little bit, we can place that off to the side and then step to the top of your mat. Reach then the hands up and stretch the body vertically. Take an inhale, and then forward fold on your exhale as you bend the knees. Halfway lift on the inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Forehead toward shins. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, both hands to heart center. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Soften the knees all the way down. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Last one, inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back to plank pose. Press the ground away in your plank. Web out your fingertips. Breathe for a moment. Lower through chaturanga, lower halfway. Pull through to your upward facing dog. And then release it back to your downward facing dog. And then pedal it out. Find some natural movements in your down dog. As always, the purpose of my practices are to move and feel naturally. We're not trying to force anything that doesn't actually fit into our space, but we are trying to find greater connection in all the ways that we can. Let's reach right leg to the sky, 3-limb down dog. If you want to bend the knee and open the hip, feel free. And then step all the way through. Right foot, top of the mat. Drop the left knee down behind you. Flip the top of the left foot to press down. Reach the arms up to the sky. Find your Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Interlace your fingertips except thumb and first finger, and reach the arms up and stretch away from the earth. Take an inhale. Exhale, hands down toward the earth. Modified pyramid pose by pulling the hips back. Stretch. Shorten your stance if you want. This is actually somewhere where a block or 2 blocks can be helpful. I'm not gonna lie, I just took a yoga class from a friend of mine. Her name is Keisha. If you live in Charlotte, you know Keisha. So I'm feeling pretty open, so I'm gonna forego the blocks here, but normally 2 blocks under the hands in pyramid pose can feel quite nice. Warrior 3, begin to bend into your right knee and shift forward into your balance. Pull your hands to heart center. Stork pose, or a one-legged Tadasana, by rising up and lifting the left knee into the chest and then reaching the arms over the head. Good. From here, find Warrior 3 again. Extend left leg back behind you, reach back. And then we'll open into Warrior 2. So as you step back, the hips open, and we kind of windmill the arms open. So kind of interesting transition there from closed hips to open hips. Reverse the warrior, inhale. Good. Triangle pose, exhale. Extend, reach, and enter the triangle pose. Again, we're just warming up, so these don't need to be the deepest poses, but they are introducing us to each pose. Take an inhale. Exhale, start to bring your left hand to the ground, and then twist your right hand to the sky. So as you do that, you'll bend into your right knee pretty deeply. Take an inhale. Exhale. Drop left knee to the ground. Rise up into a twisted low lunge, and then reverse it. So what we'll do here is we'll reach right fingertips back towards the left heel, and we'll reach left hand to the sky. So quite a dynamic shape. Just explore. Take an inhale. Exhale, both hands down to the ground. Step back to plank pose. From plank, lower through chaturanga. Control the lower down. Into upward facing dog. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Inhale, left leg to the sky. 3-limb down dog. Bend the knee. Open the hip if you want. And then step through. Drop the right knee down. Flip the top of the right foot to press down. Reach both hands to the sky. Feel things open along the front line of your body. Take an inhale. Exhale, hands down, pyramid variation. Hips pull back in space. Give yourself a breath. Shift forward, warrior 3 position as the right leg floats up off of the ground. Rise into a one-legged Tadasana, right knee into the chest as we stand all the way. Arms can lift as well. Back into warrior 3 as the right leg reaches back in space. Point the toes or flex the toes. Both are worthwhile. It's just worth it to make a decision and to be there, because making a decision in something as subtle as the foot or the hand makes us more present. Step back, warrior 2. So land the toes first, drop the heel down, open up the arms, warrior 2. Good. Reverse the warrior. Take an inhale. Triangle pose. Start to shift forward as we exhale. Extend, reach, and find new space. Start to rotate the right hand to the ground. Bend into your left knee as we twist left hand to the sky. Open up, look up, inhale. Exhale, drop the right knee down, and then rise up, but stay in your twist here as left hand seeks the right heel. Left hand seeks the right heel, right hand seeks the sky. Very expansive variation. Take an inhale. Exhale, both hands rotate down to the ground. Step back to plank. From plank, lower through chaturanga into upward facing dog. And then back to downward facing dog. From down dog, right leg to the sky, 3-limb down dog. Step right foot to the top of your space. Drop the left knee down, reach the hands to the sky, inhale. Exhale, both hands to the ground, take your pyramid variation. Stay here for a breath in, breath out. Warrior 3, bend into your right knee to help propel yourself forward into the balance. One-legged Tadasana, rise to stand, pull left knee into the chest with you. Warrior 3, left leg re-extends back to the space behind you. Point the toes. Step back and then rotate open to warrior 2 position. Reverse the warrior, inhale. Triangle pose, exhale, reach, extend, and create space. Inhale, look up. Exhale, left hand circles to the mat. Right hand to the sky. Inhale, twist. Exhale, drop left knee down, rise up. Open and expand into your lunge variation. Left hand to the sky, right hand reaches back. Take an inhale. Exhale, rotate both hands to the ground. Step back to plank pose and then move through your flow from there. Perhaps there's a chaturanga. Perhaps chaturanga flows right into upward facing dog. And then perhaps the up dog shifts itself back to down dog. Left leg to the sky, 3-limb dog. Step through. As you step through, drop right knee down, reach both hands up to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, pyramid variation. Pull your hips back in space. Inhale, begin to shift forward. Warrior 3. Stay here. Right knee into the chest. Stand up, one-legged Tadasana. Send it right back. Warrior 3, right leg reaches. Point the toes And then step back, soft landing as we rotate open, warrior two. Reverse your warrior, breath in. Triangle pose, breath out. Inhale, look up to your right hand. Exhale, place that right hand on the ground. Twist left hand to the sky, inhale. Exhale, drop the right knee down. Stay in the twist, but rise and reverse the twisted lunge. Take an inhale up. Exhale, rotate both of your hands to the ground. Grip the mat, step back to plank, and then lower through chaturanga. Pull through to your up dog. Back to your down dog. Take a full breath in. Exhale out. Inhale, right leg up, 3-limb down dog. Exhale, step all the way through. Drop your left knee down, reach both hands up. Inhale. Exhale, both hands down, pyramid variation. Pull your hips back. Warrior three, shift forward into your balance. Pull the left knee into the chest as we stand up and reach up. Warrior three, extend the left leg back behind you. Open into warrior two as we row. Step back, hips open. Reverse the warrior. Take it forward into triangle pose. From triangle pose, look up. And then bring left hand to the ground. Twist right hand to the sky, inhale. Drop the left knee down, exhale. Reverse the low lunge, left hand to the sky. Right hand reaches toward the left ankle. Maybe it makes a connection this time. If not, no worries. But if you find that connection, it can feel nice. Push the hips forward. Reach the left arm back. Inhale. Exhale. Release both hands to the ground. Step back to plank. Lower through chaturanga. Inhale to your upward facing dog. Exhale to your downward facing dog. Left leg up. Left leg steps through. Hands to the sky for your low crescent lunge. Hands to the ground for your pyramid pose variation. Pull through to your warrior three as we open. And then lift the right knee into the chest, one-legged Tadasana. Right leg reaches back in space for warrior three again. And then step back and open into warrior two. Reverse the warrior, breath in. Triangle pose, breath out, extend, open, and find new space. Look up to your right hand, inhale. Exhale the right hand to the ground. Left hand twists up to the sky as we bend into left knee. Inhale up. Exhale, drop right knee down, and then reverse the revolved lunge. So maybe left hand connects with right heel. Right hand reaches back. Push your hips forward. Inhale. Exhale. Release. Both hands rotate to the ground. Step back to plank. From plank, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Into downward facing dog. From down dog, last round, right leg up, 3-limb down dog. Step through, low lunge. Drop the left knee down, reach both hands up, inhale. Exhale, hands down, pull the hips back. Warrior three, shift forward until you find yourself in a balance. Rise up to one-legged Tadasana, left knee to chest. Warrior three, left leg reaches back in space. Step back to warrior two as we rotate open. Reverse the warrior, breath in. Triangle pose, breath out. Look up to your left hand, inhale. Exhale, left hand to the ground, twist right hand to the sky, inhale up. Exhale, drop the left knee, stay in the twist, but reverse it. Last time we're doing this, notice the space that you've created. Left hand reaches up. Release both hands to the ground, step back to plank. From plank, the flow is yours. We'll meet back in downward facing dog in a breath or two. And then we'll go into our last side. Left leg up, left foot steps all the way through. Drop right knee, both hands up, inhale. Exhale, hands down, pyramid pose. Pull your hips back in space. Pull the hips forward, warrior three, balance. One-legged Tadasana, right knee into the chest. Warrior three as the right leg reaches back. Step into warrior two as everything rotates open. Reverse the warrior. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Look up, inhale. Exhale the right hand down, twist left hand up to the sky. Inhale here. Exhale, drop your knee, and then rise and reverse. Find a home for 1 or 2 breaths. And then release both hands down to the ground, step back to plank. The flow is yours. And the journey meets us back in down dog when you're ready. From down dog, right leg to the sky, 3-limb down dog. This time, step right through warrior 2. Find home in warrior 2. Let's breathe here. Flip the palms up. Change the energy. Close the eyes. Take a couple breaths. Half moon. And this is where a block, for me, is going to be really helpful for half moon pose. And sometimes I'll do half moon and I won't use a block, but that's when I have full energy because I want my right leg to fully support me. But the block is just really nice when I'm not at 100% energy, because we've been working our legs pretty hard, that now I can use the block for structure. I'm not putting all my weight into my right hand, just a little bit of weight, just enough to help kind of add another pillar of support into the process. Okay, from here we'll step all the way back to warrior 2. From warrior 2, the left hand meets the right hand, and then we shift into warrior 3, floating and balancing. And then we rise up to one-legged Tadasana, left knee into the chest, arms up, and then we connect left peace sign fingers to left big toe and extend the left leg for standing big toe hold. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. So, for this you can always keep your knee bent, and you can also bring your left hand to underneath your left leg to support instead of grabbing the toes. Right? So, because sometimes this can be a really hard posture if your hamstrings aren't super open. But just bend it. Often bending the knee is just an immediate solution that's right there. Dancer's pose, left foot, left hand. All right, you can always take a little break in standing and then come into dancer. Try to take a couple breaths. Listen carefully. From dancer, re-enter warrior 3 just by letting your foot go, bringing your hands to the mat and stepping the left foot behind you. And then we lift the right leg all the way up to 3-limb down dog. And then we step the right foot through for half pigeon. Step the right leg through, I should say. So lower down, half pigeon. If you're not sure what that is, just look at the screen. And then, as you'll see, I like to really sit up into my half pigeon pose at the beginning. It's a little more active, which is why. It's active to sit up because we have to press our right shin down into the mat in order to lengthen the spine up vertically. And once we fold forward, this pose becomes completely passive. So by sitting up, we're creating activity. Take an inhale, exhale, fold, if you haven't already. And then we'll spend a little bit of time here just letting things slow down. We still have stuff that we're going to do in the practice, but in this moment we let it slow down and we embrace the opportunity to take a more passive stretching experience. Give yourself a few more final breaths in this deep stretch and just feel the space that we've opened up in this relatively short amount of time together. All right, from here, as we lift up, we'll actually wrap our left leg around in front of us for seated tree pose, Janu Shirsasana. And then we'll stretch our side body by reaching the right arm up and over. It's your choice. The right arm could just reach into the air, or right hand could connect with the left foot. A few breaths for really deep stretching of the side bodies, which is very valuable because I kind of referred to this in the beginning of class, but there's not many things we often do in life that really allow the side bodies to lengthen. From here, we'll take the left hand up and place it behind us, and then we'll press down through the right shin and the left foot to bridge the hips up into this variation of side plank or wild thing. Inhale up, exhale, come down. All right, from here, both legs will eventually swing around behind us. We'll come into downward facing dog. Give yourself 2 breaths to land back in your down dog. And stretch your left leg to the sky, 3-limb down dog. Step all the way through for warrior 2 as the right heel spins down. From warrior 2, we're heading into balancing half moon on this side. So now we switch up the energy and we go back into our active postures. Everything expands away from the midline in a posture such as half moon pose. Slowly step back to warrior 2. From warrior 2, right hand meets the left hand in front of you and we shift into warrior 3. Rise into stork or one-legged Tadasana, hands up, and then bring right side peace fingers to the right toe and then extend your right leg. Again, you can do this with the knee bent and you can do this just supporting your right leg from underneath instead of grabbing the toes. I also don't have the longest legs, which I think it's underrated how much proportions affect poses. This is easier for someone who has short legs and long arms, and it's harder for someone with long legs and short arms. That's something to keep in mind. Dancer's pose. Shift back, shift the energy, expand. All right, from here, release the right foot. Step the right foot back as we bring the hands down. 3-limb down dog, left leg to the sky. And then step through for half pigeon. Take your time finding the posture. Maybe you sit up tall for the first few moments. And in that same way, some postures are easier for people with long legs. It all just depends. I think the only important part of that conversation is that there is universality. I don't know if that's a word. There is a level of universalness. I don't know if that's a word either in our practice, right? The practice is universal. And it is also an individual journey. No two people's practices look the same, even if the reason that they're landing on the mat is the same. If you're with me, stay upright for another couple breaths. And then on an exhale, fold forward and find the deep stretch. Just breathe, slow it down. Find the moment, find your center, find your spirit. We'll just give ourselves a few more breaths here. We'll begin to rise up into a seat. We'll swing our left leg around, our right leg around from behind us, and then we'll create our side body stretch. And hopefully this feels good. It's like we're lengthening from the left hip to the left hand, or more specifically from the left hip through the left armpit. The left hip is rooting down so that we can have an anchor into our extension. And then breathe here. And then the journey takes us out of this. We'll place the left hand down behind us and then press down through your left shin. Reach the right arm up, bridge the hips up. Take an inhale. Exhale, return. And then from here, bring the legs behind you for downward facing dog. Not done quite yet, we're getting there, but we'll do a couple more things. From our downward facing dog, look forward, bend the knees, and bunny hop into a malasana squat. As you find your malasana squat, sit up tall. Try your best to have a long spine, and then maybe you just shift the weight around a little bit. Finding a little fluidity into the hips. Maybe you do a little bounce up and down type thing. Then place the hands on the ground for Bakasana, crow pose. Go ahead and float the feet and rise into your arm balance. Press the ground away. You can do this even if the feet don't float. Find the same effort as if your feet do float. Right? It's about the effort. It's about the experience. It's not about the aesthetics. We're here for 3, 2, forward fold on 1. So drop your feet down and then straighten the legs. Gorilla pose, Padahastasana. Slide your palms underneath your feet. Stretch the wrists. You might have to bend your knees considerably in order to do that. Take some full exhales in your fold. Maybe very gently you sway back and forth or side to side in some way. Release your hands out from under you. Sink into a toe stand. And then from your toe stand, reach both hands up to the sky and lengthen your spine. Such a beneficial posture, stretching out through the bottoms of the feet, working through our range of motion in the lower body, working on our balance, as well as lengthening through the spine. Try to take 1 or 2 more breaths here. I know it's a hard pose, but it's one of those that has real benefits. And then 1 more chance for a crow pose if you want, Bakasana. You could also take any other arm balance, and you can also go back to that Malasana squat that we did just a few moments ago. This is your time, but if you're going for a Bakasana, push the ground away for 5, 4, 3, 2. This time, step back or shoot back to Chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. From down dog, shift into plank, and then come down to the belly. As you come to the belly, for a moment, take a sphinx by bringing your forearms to the mat. Elbows are underneath the shoulders to create somewhat of a right angle, 90 degrees in the arms. Right angles, that's the most stable angle in nearly every situation. Of course, you can always find exceptions, but whenever given the opportunity to find a right angle, if stability is the goal, then the right angle will do. Push the collarbones away from the ground, lifting up. Well, let's activate a little more. So locust pose. Reach the arms back behind you. Float the legs. Float the arms. Optional bind of the fingertips behind your low back as we lift up and expand. Let's be here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax down. Take a break for 2 quick breaths. And then rise up for bow pose. Bend your knees, grab onto your feet, and expand and kick. And breathe for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Press back, child's pose. Let your energy settle in your child's pose. Thread the needle. Right arm reaches underneath. Switch sides if you thread the needle, left arm underneath. Dolphin pose or forearm balance. Go ahead and rise. Dolphin is like down dog except your forearms are on the ground. Pushing the ground away. Hips are the highest point by far. And if you want, take it into forearm balance. Breathe here, dolphin or forearm balance. I'm going to give us time here, and if you want to come out early, all you need to do is return to child's pose or seated on your shins. Otherwise, keep active. Push the ground away. This is kind of our last spurt of really active stuff. We'll be here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, last 3, last 2, on 1. Let's all meet seated on our shins. And if that feels like a lot, just place a block underneath your seat, or you can also just sit in any other way. And then let's take several neck rolls. Please do this in the way that feels most natural for you. We all have different necks. We all slept differently last night. Just rotate around, create some new lines of energy and awareness. Lay down on your back. Let's take bridge pose. So as you lay down on your back, bend your knees, place your feet on the ground, and then press down through your feet to bridge your hips up to the sky. You have options with your hands. You could bind behind your back, you could reach for your ankles, or you could just have hands kind of resting out by your sides, which is sort of what I'm doing. We're here for 20, 19, 18. You got this. And if you ever just need a break, just come out and come back in. 17, 16, 15, 14, 12, 11, 10, just 9, another 8, last 7, another 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, lower down on 1. Hug the right knee into the chest, and then twist the right leg across your body. Keep the knee bent or straighten the right leg and have it reach out to the side. Breathe here. Start to release. And of course, we'll twist other side. Right leg goes long, left knee pulls in, and we guide the left leg across the body. Either keep your knee bent, or I personally love to extend the left leg and even to connect the right hand with outer edge of left foot into the twist. Left arm reaches and opens to the other side. Then breathe. Release and come back through center. Bridge pose, last time, last active pose, last pose, period. Press up to your bridge position for 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. You got this. Keep the hips where they are. Don't let them drop. Don't let them sag. 14, 13, 12. Engage the glutes. Engage the hamstrings. 11, 10. Push down through the shoulder blades. 9, 8. How is the breath? Are you holding the breath? 7. If so, breathe deeper for 6, 5. Feel the bottoms of your feet on the earth for 4. Last effort for 3. Push the hips even higher for 2. Lower down on 1. Take Shavasana. Extend your legs. Arms rest by your sides, or you can even reach the arms overhead if you're craving a full body stretch. Let's all take a Shavasana together for just a couple minutes here today. Complete rest. Feel the impact that stillness has on your spirit. When we find physical stillness, often that physical stillness is able to find its way to weave through the body, energetically, spiritually, mentally. Because our spirit lives inside of the physical body, so it makes sense that we work with and through the physical body in order to find deeper connection to the spirit. And the spirit can mean whatever you want it to mean. It's open for your interpretation and your exploration. You're welcome to roll over onto one side or to begin finding some gentle stretches again. Maybe it's just moving the fingers and toes around. Maybe it's stretching the arms up or hugging the knees in. Just do what feels natural for a moment. And then let's meet one another in a seated position on our mats. Sit up tall, bring your hands into prayer in front of your heart, close the eyelids, form an intention for the rest of your day, or for tomorrow, or maybe even for the next month or year, how you would energetically like to move through the world, who you would like to be, who you would like to become, who you would like to create. Knowing that we are on our path, and we are where we need to be, even if things feel hard. Especially when things feel hard. I'm grateful you're here, both on your mat, sharing this space with me today, and I'm grateful you're here in general. I'm glad that you're here in the world. We'll bring the thumbs up toward the forehead, and we'll bowing to ourselves, to each other, to the practice, toward all teachers, all practitioners, all beings. Much love. Thank you so much for joining the practice. I'll hope to see you again soon. Have a blessed day, and until next time, peace.